Hello, it's me again. I've had a bit of a disaster today. I've filmed like a gazillion videos and refilmed and stuff, and then I was using the video thing on YouTube that uploads it straight to it, and it's got no bloody sound. So I've uploaded all these videos that have no sound, and I've now had to delete them. One of them was a review of Torment, the sequel to Fallen, which was the first book review I did the other day. Now, I warn you now, if you've not read Fallen, don't, stop watching this video, because I'm going to give away stuff that happens in the first book, but not stuff that happens in the second book. Other than, the main plot, but it won't spoil anything. If you've not read the second book, you can still read this. Watch this. You might find, a few tiny little details out, but they're not significant. But if you have not read the first book, stop watching now, okay? Unless you want it all spoiled for you. But yeah, you've seen my sort of review on the other one, probably, and I did like it, but I was a little bit it was a bit slow and just generally not brilliant to start with, and then by the end it was amazing. Now, all the reviews I've seen on here have been absolutely amazing for the first book. Second book, not so much. People have been like, it's really slow, I can't get into it. I've heard from friends that they just can't get into it, but I absolutely adored this book. I thought it was 10 times better than Fallen. The action was there was much more action. We knew what was going on so much more. I mean, in Fallen, until there was the battle right at the end, which I felt ended up being rushed because Laura and Kate spent so much time just leading up to it and just focusing on the romance of Luce, Cam and Daniel. It was very Twilightish, as I mentioned before. You might be able to see me behind me. That's my bookshelf. I don't know if you can see. I have got the Twilight books. I had a Twilight stage. I really liked them for a while. I was about 11 or 12 and I'm 15 now, so it was quite a while ago. I'm 16 this year, so. And now I've kind of seen most massive Harry Potter fans, because I'm a massive Harry Potter fan, as you'll know from any of my videos. Last time I was wearing a Deathly Hallows necklace. This time I have a new necklace, and it's a Dumbledore's Army one. Sorry, just had to show that off. Yeah, I'm not most massive Harry Potter fans. Just hate Twilight. I wouldn't say hate it. I've watched the movies. I've read the books, albeit a very, very, very long time ago. But yeah, I'm not really. They're okay, but I've read better books, and I've since I've started writing, I'd like to think I've got a more mature view on fiction and stuff, and I've just seen the light, really, that Twilight's not exactly the best book out there. It's not the worst, because obviously look at Stephanie Meyer. She's published all the people that are like, Twilight is crap. That may be, but Stephanie Meyer didn't get where she was from nothing. I find it quite ironic by watching different YouTube reviews that everybody that loves Fallen is a massive massive Twilight fan rather. So what I said was obviously, I was sort of right in saying that it was quite Twilightish. But I preferred this one. Although you did have a bit of romance, but a love triangle. There's a new character called Miles, and he it's very obvious from the beginning that he likes Luce and stuff. And Miles I really like him. He's my favourite character from this book. Last book it was Ariane, this time it's Miles. But I don't know, this book just seemed to be so much better. Luce, this doesn't give anything away. Daniel makes her go to a different school. And it's actually for fallen angels. Well, for the Nephilim, I don't know, the kids, the gifted kids, to do with demons and angels and all of this stuff, and you get a lot more action, and she's learning about stuff. The announcements, which is the shadows, which of course haunted her for ages, there's so much more about them, and I really like that because you got to learn about it, and you know a little bit about Lucy's past lives as well. The ending, not giving anything away, but the ending was freaking amazing. When I read the last bit and then realised, I was like, oh my god, I've only got a few pages left, and I was just like, no! And then that was it, basically. The book was over, and I was just like, and I don't have the next one, so I think a trip into the library next week is going to be needed to get Passion. I'm not sure if Fallen in Love will actually be in a library yet because it's just come out, but if it is, I'm going to be all over it because it was really good. I'm really into the series now. Like, I mean, it's not the best series I've ever read, but it is good. Torment. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention last time, which I kicked myself when I realised, is Lauren Kate writes in third person. So many people, so many books are written in first person, especially sort of young adult teen fiction type thing. And, like, first person's okay, but I love third person, and with my writing as well, if, like, my novel was completed, there'll be a link in the description, that's in first person, but only because it had to be for the whole thing to work. If I could have written it in third person, I would have done, because I just adore third person, and when it's written properly, I think it's brilliant. And Lauren Hay did that really well, so that was one big thing that I really liked, and yeah. And the grammar was good. I know in published books, grammar tends to be, but like, going back to Twilight, Stephanie Meyer's grammar, I don't know whether it's an American thing, but I just really, the stuff, some of the, like, commas she places and stuff, I just want to kill her, and I'm like a massive grammar freak, so that's just really not, you know, it's quite a big thing for me if it's got good grammar, and you couldn't fault Lauren Kate. Obviously she's had publishers, but yeah, even some things get through publishers. I mean, the Vampire Diaries series, I've actually got the book here because this is what I'm reviewing next time. I'm going on to read it after this video. It's Moonsong. It's the 9th Vampire Diaries book, and I will be reviewing it. She actually has, the author, quotation marks instead of speech marks. And it really annoys me. But they are brilliant books, so I just kind of get on with it and shimmy on. I won't go into detail about that because I will be talking about that next time, but they're really good books, so if you can get your hands on them, do it. But back to Torment, I thought it was really good. Just the little different touches, we got the different aspects. We got to know Luce more because we see her, there were so many different new characters, and we see her almost afraid to make new friends because of what happened to Pen. Like, when Pen died, I was really like, oh my god, like in the last book, at the end, when Pen died and Miss Sophia killed her and all of that, I really like, felt sorry for Luce, and especially what had happened with Trevor, and then obviously Todd died as well, so it was kind of like really hard on her. And you see her sort of being afraid to make friends, and yet she's got all these different new people around her. All these new characters are being introduced, and every one of them is important in one way. That's what I really like about Lauren Kate's work. I also like the reintroduction of the people from Sword and Cross, because she's at a different school called Shoreline, obviously. Shoreline, yeah. You missed it out on the rest of them. But Roland makes a reappearance, Ariane makes a reappearance, and near the end, everybody basically. Like I said, favourite character is Miles, because he's just really sweet, and I feel really sorry for him. Like, although I didn't really want another love triangle because it was just like too much, this had some importance. Like, it was more to do with the fact that Luce is sort of thinking I could have a normal life if I was with someone else, like Miles, or fairly normal. Whereas when she's with Daniel, her life's in danger all the time. So, like, that was really important for character development. If I had to say a favourite scene, I would probably say the Thanksgiving. Like, if you haven't read it, don't worry, but there's a scene where they're at Thanksgiving, and it ends up with so many of them there, and like, it was just making me laugh because it was a very surreal experience. I mean, there was a quote in the book where Luce was thinking how surreal it was, and it was really surreal, but it was funny. But then obviously that's really near the end, and that's sort of leading up to the big finale. Like, I kind of thought it would be like, obviously in Britain you don't have Thanksgiving, but if there was Thanksgiving, that's what I'd imagine the Weasley house to be like at Thanksgiving, or what the Weasley house from Harry Potter obviously is like at Christmas. So, like, you know, I really like that. I thought that was my first thoughts. I was just like, oh, because I relate everything to Harry Potter. You might even be able to see my Harry Potter shelf. Well, I know. I don't know. I don't know if you saw that. But yeah, I really liked it. And one thing that was really good is Cam and Daniel make a truce. That's right at the beginning, so don't worry, that's not ruined anything for anyone. and it lasts 18 days. I think it might be 19. I think it was 18. I can't remember. It's 18, 19. I don't know. But each chapter name was counting down the days, so you knew it was leading up to something big, and it was a really good finale, and I really liked it. So overall, I cannot fault the book. Other than that, obviously some people were struggling with it. But if you are reading it and struggling to keep going with it, keep going, because it is really good. Don't just give up. It is a good book. Like, I didn't struggle with it at all. It was like a proper like page turner. Like, I was reading it this morning quite early. I couldn't sleep, so you know, I just really could not put the book down. I started reading it this morning, and I didn't stop until I'd finished it. And it was really good. But yeah, so I would give this 5 stars. I can't fault it, like I said. So Pi gives it 5 out of 5 stars, whereas Fallen only had 4. Go out and read the series, definitely. And I will be trying to get Passion to review very soon. And like I said, the next review will be this one. So stick around for that. And I'll also be doing some Wattpad reviews, because I did that on the site I write on. I did some reviews, filmed them, and then there was no sound. So okay. So like or comment or subscribe or whatever, just let me know what you think, and I will be recording soon.